Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at the trade desk, ticker symbol TTD, trying to decide, is it a good investment? Should it be in your portfolio?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of research here, everything from, industry trends and competition,
Yeah.
all the way to looking at their financials, even how the companies run. And later on, we've got kind of a surprise connection to a classic Warren Buffett investing principle.
Okay.
So stick around for that.
That's good.
So to start off, maybe you can give us a little background.
Sure.
What is the trade desk?
So the trade desk is, they are the leading independent demand-side platform, so DSP. And basically what that means is it's a marketplace for advertisers to be able to go and bid on ad space across, a wide network of websites and apps. But the key there is independent, right? So unlike the walled gardens, the Google and Facebooks of the world,
Right.
the trade desk is really championing the open internet and giving advertisers access to a much broader and diverse audience.
So it sounds like for advertisers who are maybe frustrated with those walled gardens, those limitations
Right.
and maybe the lack of transparency, this offers an alternative.
Absolutely.
So what makes them special, though?
So there are a few things.
Okay.
First, their platform is known for being very user-friendly
Okay.
and for being transparent. Advertisers can see exactly where the ads are running, how their budgets are being spent,
Yeah.
which is a big deal in an industry that, is usually pretty complex and kind of hidden.
Right.
And then they have Koa, which is their AI engine.
Okay.
And this thing analyzes tons of data and basically optimizes campaigns in real time.
Wow.
So think about it as like having a super smart assistant, like always tweaking your ads to make sure that they're reaching the right people at the right time.
Doing all the work for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So very cutting edge, giving advertisers a leg up.
For sure.
Anything else in their toolbox?
Yeah, so they also have a whole suite of tools like Planner, which helps you map out the campaigns, tools for managing data and publisher relationships. But then this is where it gets interesting. They're making a big push into connected TV, CTV.
Okay, so that's like smart TVs, streaming devices.
Exactly. Exactly. And they have a new venture called Ventura.
Okay.
And this is like a CTV operating system that they built.
Wow.
And it really shows how much they want to be a major player in this streaming market, which is growing like crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a huge growth area.
Huge growth area.
That's a smart move for them.
Yeah. And, this is what really, I think, shows their potential.
Yeah.
So they're the largest independent DSP, right?
Right.
But they still only facilitated less than 2% of global ad spending in 2023.
Wow. That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah.
That there's so much room for growth still.
Exactly. Imagine if they could even double that market share.
Yeah.
The upside is huge.
That's incredible. Yeah. So it seems like they've got a long runway ahead of them for growth. But let's talk about the people, the management who's running the show over there.
So you've got Jeff Green, the founder and CEO.
Okay.
And Laura Schenkein, the CFO. They are both really experienced, really successful in the industry.
Okay.
And under their leadership, the trade desk has done something pretty amazing.
Okay.
They've had a 95% client retention rate for 10 years in a row.
95%. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Especially in this industry.
Especially in this industry. It shows you how much value they're giving to their clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, they're not resting on their laurels. They're making strategic acquisitions. Like they acquired AdBrain to make their platform even better. And they're also trying to shape the future of the industry. So they have things like Unified ID 2.0, which is it's basically an alternative to those cookies that track you all over the internet.
So it's more privacy focused.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then they have OpenPath.
Okay.
Which lets advertisers connect directly with publishers.
Cut out the middleman.
Cut out the middleman.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not just playing the game, they're changing the rules.
I like it.
Yeah.
But they've also made some moves that have been a little controversial. Like recently, they decided to reincorporate in Nevada.
Right.
Some people think that's a red flag.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, it's a mixed bag.
Okay.
On the one hand, probably lower taxes for them, maybe a bit more flexibility in how they operate. But it could mean less rights for shareholders, and it could mean the CEO has more voting power.
Okay.
So whether it's good or bad, it really depends on your perspective.
Yeah. Definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure.
Now, let's get into the numbers, the financials.
All right.
How's their financial health?
In a word, robust.
Okay, I like it.
So they have strong revenue growth. They had a 32% year-over-year increase in 2023. Their EBITDA margins are impressive.
Okay.
Their balance sheet is healthy, low debt.
Sounds good.
So right now, their market cap is sitting at $57.89 billion
Okay.
with a PE ratio of 190.50.
That's pretty high.
Yeah. And analysts are predicting EPS growth of about 24.11% over the next 5 years.
That's a high PE ratio.
It is.
What does that tell us?
So it means investors are really optimistic about the future.
Okay.
They're basically saying, we think the company's growth is going to be so good that it justifies this high price.
Okay.
But it also means the stock could be volatile.
So higher risk, but higher potential reward.
Yeah, exactly.
So it sounds like we've got a lot more to talk about here.
Definitely.
Market sentiment, ownership structure, got to do that risk assessment.
For sure.
And of course, got to come back to that Warren Buffett connection.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll be back in a flash to continue our deep dive into the trade desk. Don't forget to check out the full list of sources for this episode in the description below.
Yep.
And if you're enjoying this deep dive, please consider subscribing to the Stock Analytics AI YouTube channel for more in-depth stock analysis.
Absolutely. Welcome back to our deep dive into the trade desk. So, we've talked about the company itself, what they do, but what are the experts saying?
Yeah, I mean, everything sounds pretty exciting so far, but what's the market sentiment? Are people as bullish as we are starting to sound?
Well, if you look at Wall Street analysts, they seem to be pretty optimistic.
Okay.
The average price target from 28 different analysts is $139.04, which, if you look at the current price, implies a potential upside of 21%.
Wow. It's not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
And what about ratings? Like, are most analysts giving it a buy or?
Yeah, most of them are rating it as a buy or strong buy.
Okay.
So, yeah, pretty positive sentiment from the pros, but...
Okay, there's a but.
There's a but.
There's always a but.
There's one thing that might give investors pause.
Okay.
And that's recent insider selling.
Oh.
Yeah, so over the last quarter, insiders have sold over $5 million worth of stock. And that includes sales by the CEO.
See, that always makes me a little nervous, right? Because if you believe in the company, wouldn't you be holding on to the stock?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
But it's also important to remember that insider selling can happen for different reasons, right? Sometimes it's personal stuff. It doesn't have anything to do with the company's performance.
Right.
So it's not necessarily a red flag, but it's definitely a data point that you want to look into.
Yeah, do a little more digging.
Exactly.
So speaking of digging, let's talk about ownership structure.
Okay.
Who are the big players who are holding this stock?
So it's a mix of different types of investors. You've got institutional investors, insiders, public companies. But institutional investors hold a pretty big chunk, around 45.35%.
So that's like your big mutual funds and hedge funds and all that.
Exactly. And usually when you see a high percentage of institutional ownership, that means experienced investors have done their research.
Makes sense.
And they have a lot of confidence in the company.
Yeah, so they've got the resources, they've got the smarts, they're probably a good indicator.
Exactly.
All right, so let's move on to our risk assessment.
Okay.
Every investment has some risk, so let's break it down for the trade desk.
Sure. So let's do the SWOT analysis, look at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Love a good SWOT.
Yeah, so starting with strengths, I mean, they're the leader in the DSP space, right? They're independent, they're focused on the open internet, which is a big plus for a lot of advertisers.
Right. Those walled gardens are getting a little scary for some people.
Exactly.
And they've got